So this past week, Primitive put out a video. It is their fifth full-length video, and this time they decided to do an AM video featuring three of their AMs, Felipe Mota, Kiyonosuke Yamashita, and Dylan Jabe, with a little team montage in there as well. This is Daydream, aka Primitive Mambo number 5. What do you got? I can already say right off the bat, oh, I'm not monitoring myself. There we go. That's better for me, for my brain. Because I love to hear my voice and hear myself talk. Right off the bat, I'm already getting a feeling of it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of personality going on with a lot of these guys, and like it just seems like they're like, I don't know, there's something weird to me about like a skate video being 30 seconds in and like there haven't been any spoken words yet. It's kind of weird for my like no lyrics in a song, or like no like clips where someone's talking. It just kind of seems weird to me. That was a very pretty nollie backside flip though. Bruh. I don't know if this doesn't have enough context. Like I'm not I hate security guards as much as the next guy, but like when you've got clips like these for your B-roll, there's just not enough context to make you look like the good guys. I don't know. Starting out with the T-Pud's double trouble ledge. That's kind of weird. This was kind of trippy because it's like right here. It kind of turns into a switchback tail. Like right here, it's like, if you were going to ask me, is this photo of a front nose or a switchback tail? I probably would answer switchback tail. Just the way that, like, especially once you get here, that is full, like, switchback tail. Did they actually? There's a part of me that's like, was this whole thing like planned out, or like is this like an extra shot that was filmed after? I don't know. I don't care enough to analyze anything to really confirm that for me or not. Oh yeah, definitely like that was shot for this. I now realize how stupid that was, because like there's no way that they had the lighting underneath the water for that in this. Like that was definitely something produced after. Okay. This is a pretty heavy kickflip back tail. Although, yeah, I'm going to start out with, so Felipe skates Street League, right? And I don't think Felipe's done a Street League and hasn't done a kickflip back tail. So like starting with that is a little bit like, okay, I've seen him do a lot of these already on things about that size too. So that was sick. Ooh. Coming out with the old 2009, right? The backtail 3-shove. That was, he kind of did them the way that they were done back then too. Like, there's a lot of distance. I mean, I guess it's pretty hard to not have a whole bunch of distance between the board and your feet on a 3-shove like that. Nah. This line was kind of boring. It was kind of like a nothing burger line. Like fakey nose grind front one. Okay. and then front crook nollie back heel. I don't know, man. Like there's a part of this that's just kind of like it doesn't feel that like special. It's not like a tasteless line or like whatever, but it's like it's kind of just there. Which is kind of how I've always felt about Felipe's skating in the first place anyway. It's just kind of like because like even in like Street League, I feel like he doesn't really have the like crazy bag of tricks that is really gonna like he's because he hasn't won a Street League, but a lot of people have been in Street League and haven't won. But I think he legitimately like his bag of tricks is pretty much like in that like kickflip back tail area, and it's about where it stays. So he doesn't really put up much of a fight in like those kind of contests. So like there's a part of me that kind of roots for him like in the streets because I want him to be a good street skater that puts out like a really solid video part to kind of balance that out. Because that's the thing about a lot of other skaters is like, oh, they skate the contests and they're not that good at the contest, but like that doesn't explain them as a skateboarder because you watch their video parts and they shred. So like I kind of want that for everyone, you know? I actually kind of like this clip quite a bit because I like a good nose to crook. And he got into that very nicely, very solid pinched crook. And then the shove out was very nice because he did it like it was a no slide big spin. It was very smooth. Huh. It's one you don't see very often. It's definitely a play on the big flip front board, but getting over into blunt is pretty tough. Yeah, I just this one I don't know really how to feel about it either. Definitely tough, but it's still in that same kind of like vein because it's like taking one of the like the big flip front board like contest move and like but like Felipe also does a lot of kickflip front blunts. So it's kind of just like mixing that together in a weird way. I don't know. I just kind of want like when it comes to video parts, I want people to like step out of their box, you know? And I haven't really seen that so far. I mean, this was another nose to crook, but I thought it was a pretty cool combo to do the half cab flip in. Like that's pretty nice. And it's on a rounded ledge too. So like it works for that, but it makes it harder to lock in. I mean, it's kind of playing on the nose slide to crook and going the other way. Heel flip front nose is a pretty awkward trick, but he's like Felipe's got the heel flips into stuff. And then to fakie nose grind. It's definitely a cool trick, but like I said, so far we're not really outside of the realm yet. And he doesn't I feel like people are going to hear that and they're going to be like, "Oh, what are you expecting like 540s and Texas plants?" And it's like, "Well, no, but I just don't want like regular kick flips and fakie flips and stuff like into things and heel flips into things and like nollie heel flips out, like just something other than that." And now that he's established it in the part, something that isn't like a no slide to crook combo. Because that was a kickflip back lip, right? And like we've established, this is definitely in the contest package. One of the more like respectable tricks in a contest, but since I see them so much in contests, it's like, yeah, tasty contest package, exactly. It's like I don't want to see contest dudes do them in parts. Like if you're like a John Alley type and you do a kickflip back lip in a part, that's kind of one thing, but like contest dudes, it's like step it up in the streets, man. This is one of his moves, and I will say, even though it is like a variation of the big spin front board, getting into Hurricane is just immediately 10 times better, because front Hurricane is we're in we're in board slide. That's board slide. I was like, I love front Hurricanes, and then you had to disrespect the Hurricane. See, like, if you board slide this much of the rail in a contest, they're probably not going to dock it at all, because it's pretty clean, all things considered. But it's street footage, man. That much board slide on a Hurricane is just kind of like, if you're like here, if you're here and your board is like this, for a street clip, that's fine. But like, I don't know, this is like touching on a manual to me, you know? Just because front Hurricane is such a nice looking trick. You can see it in full speed on that angle too. Like, full speed on this angle, you can see it fall out. It's just kind of like, On the other hand, this kind of spot here, like with this setup, like being on like the train tracks and having this rail here, is actually a kind of neat setup as like a spot. I think like visually it's a pretty cool spot, actually. Heel flip back Smith, kind of also in that same well, and he doesn't have much left of this part, man. He's got like a minute and a half left. See, there we go. A clip like this is what I'm talking about. This is him kind of stepping out now, because this rail is huge, and it looks like, so I think this rail was knobbed, and I think people skated this rail knobbed, but now you're still dealing with like these parts of the rails where the knobs were. They're easier to grind through than if it was knobbed, but it's still like you've got to push through those. So major respect for this, actually. And he was pitted in this grind too, like here, like there's like a point in this rail where like his, ooh, you see that, where like his tail isn't really on the rail and his board is just like flexed over. That is a very hard like balance to be in, and he handled it because he was able to actually get into like a better grind to hop out. So like, props for that one. Damn. Now we're checking again for Hurricanes, because that was a heavy kickflip front Hurricane's pretty heavy. I'll give him this one. He fell out here. That is a lot better than that other clip, because you can't notice it full speed. Okay. Heel flip back tail clipper. Pretty tough, I would say. Clipper's just hard to slide through in general. I mean, it's a trick in his package for sure. But like, dude, skating clipper, it's so rounded that tail slide variations are just wild for it. You know, it's the Thrasher cover. Kicky front blunt Hollywood. Are we just going to see Hollywood High forever? Because, like, it was a spot that was around for a very long time when I started skating. And, like, for a few years there, it kind of died out. And now we have dudes doing tricks that they do on rails, like, in contests and at, like, skate parks on this rail. Whereas, like, when I was a kid, you could get the cover of a magazine on Hollywood High if you just did a front nose slide. And now, like, people are flipping their whole board over it and sliding it. So like it's getting a little bit of a resurgence. I like that it's also getting a resurgence in like women are skating it, like Rose Wetsloat and Funa Nakayama both grinded it, and then Haisa, like, yeah, Rose Wetsloat did front grind, Funa did front crook, and then Haisa Leal did backsmith. Like, I actually dig that quite a bit. And I obviously can't hate on Felipe for doing one of his moves on Hollywood because like it's Hollywood. It's a huge, you're not going to do a trick that you're not comfortable with on a rail that big, so I don't know what else I would expect. That's a heavy move for Hollywood though. Has it been kickflip backtailed? Because like in my mind, kickflip backtail's harder, just because like at least mentally, because like when you pop off the tail and you go into like a front blunt, like that's your nose is clearing the rail first, so it doesn't feel like you need to pop as high. Whereas like back tail, you're popping off the tail, and then the first thing that goes over the rail is your tail, so it's like a lot more of like an immediate need to get the tail over. So um I was saying for Felipe, which one would be harder? Himself. Somebody else, I don't know. I don't know who I'd like to see do it. Cause yeah, I don't know. It was very clean though. Half listening? No, it's all good. So many angles of it though.
That is a wrap. We did it, baby.
Oh, okay. So now we're going into team montage. So I guess, like I said, my thoughts on Felipe's part were there were only a couple clips where I was like kind of surprised about something that he did. Everything else felt very like I've seen you do this before. And my philosophy is if you're a contest skater, you can do your contest moves in a part, but they can be like a few of the clips. I want a lot of your footage to be stuff I don't know you can do. So like that was okay. I didn't really like the like four angles on the kickflip front blunt because it kind of felt like that's a heavy trick, but you shouldn't need more than like three angles to tell me how sick a trick is. It kind of feels like in the editing, you're kind of like really patting this guy on the ass for that trick. So like, because when you start to get that is like, you start to get this feeling of is this actually sick or are you trying to like brainwash me to think it's sick, because I shouldn't need more than two angles for you to prove that to me, you know what I mean? So I don't know, all in all it was an okay part. It definitely wasn't bad, but I don't know, I want to see like maybe hopefully Felipe's next part that he puts out is a little bit more stepping out of that bag of tricks that he does in contests. But all right, it looks like we're going to watch a P-Rod clip. Classic. He's always done the switch front blunt on out ledges. Trent McClung. Ooh. I saw this and like my thought was that this trick is cool, but there's a part of me that thinks what if instead we did a frontside half cab flip out, like 180 with it. I feel like that would have been a little bit cooler of a trick, but this wasn't bad necessarily. That was a nice hard flip. That was interesting. He was like kind of in that. Like he got a little bit pitted. Like there's like this point here I thought he was going to stick. But he was actually able to, and I was surprised he was able to actually gain control of it to bring it back to forward. That was an interesting one. Trey Williams. Nice. This was a nice nollie back heel. Not filmed the best. I feel like you could have, like, just being out just like a smidge where like the whole spot kind of would have been in frame. I think would have made it look a little bit better, but not bad. Do I know who you are? Oh, it's Geo. Sorry, I usually know who people are on board brands when I don't recognize, because sometimes I have really bad face blindness. I'm not even gonna lie. And what helps me sometimes is shoes. And the shoes he was wearing, I read them as New Balances and not Vans. Because you can see by like this front, right? Like these don't look like Vans in my mind. My head is covering the other one, but you see this one. Or maybe I'm just crazy. It's the Tism. Yeah. But this was a cool clip, actually, with the front shove up. Because shoving up stuff is actually pretty hard. So you hit it on the way up a lot. And this, I thought this trick was cool. Nollie front nose. I mean, like, it's the classic nollie, like the front nose heel flip fakie, but like nollieing in is pretty sick too. Ooh. That was actually a really nice looking big spin. I like the way it was caught. Like side of the foot like that was super nice. Oh. Is this Taylor? I think it's Taylor McClung. But I love a good big spin heel as well. Frankie. Ooh. Frankie with the nose to back grind. Pretty crazy one too. It was a little bit of just a tap in the back grind, but it was nice looking. Objectively, Frankie is like the most like tasteful, cool looking dude on the team, like by a country mile. So anything he does is gonna be like just an elevation. Oh, see what I mean? Dude, this was so cool. With the front blunt on the third step and then straight into Bennett. That's a really cool one. I love that. Nice. Did he get... Because I like this clip regardless. Just like a back nose grind on a barrier. Did he get... He did. Well, he got 3 of them. That's 3 down, but still, like he tried to get all 4 in on this barrier. The attempt is very much appreciated. Ooh, Johnny. This is a really nice backside flip. Nice and dipped like that. Super sick. I kind of forgot Johnny was on primitive for some reason. Ooh. I like the kind of mirror line that this is. Because it's not like a full mirror line. He would have done frontside half cab heel. But like it's... I don't know. And this was just like a really nice switchback heel too. Nice and like... I like switchback heels when they're like kind of caught below 90 and then the hip rip around. What up, Threams? I like switchback heels like that. Yeah. Spencer Hamilton. Ooh. I like them when they're done well. This was a alley-oop frontside half cab flip. Is one you do not see very often. Seems pretty awkward. That was a really good one. More Trey Williams. Ooh. I was hoping we got another angle of this, because It's pretty hard to backtail a wall rail like that. I wonder how many like tries it takes, because like of the different like panels of the wall getting like stuck in one of these cracks, like the tail of your board hitting them. You just hate Mark Suciu? I don't hate him. He's not like my favorite, but for me, for Suciu, it's not his skating that bothers me nearly as much as it is like his attitude. Because I feel like this is gonna sound really stupid. I feel like someone like me, when I point out how like tasteful or tasteless something is, I'm coming from the angle of being a fan of skateboarding. I can't do any of this shit. Like, oh, the only trick in this video so far that I would even have a chance, like a chance in hell of doing, was the front crook fakie that Kaio did in this montage. In 90% of human groups, he is a normally intelligent human, but because he's in an industry full of high school dropouts, he thinks he's there. Yeah, there is a little bit of that too. I also think that the shit talking that someone like you and I do at the skill levels that we both have looks a lot different when you can actually do these tricks and you're pointing out like, oh, these tricks are so ass. I feel like there's a way to do it where like you don't come off like a dick, but like from him it always feels like oh, these tricks, they look awful, unlike the tricks that I do. Whereas, like, you can tell when somebody like Ishad, who literally talks about the same exact thing, he doesn't come off as conceited when he talks about tricks, right? There's like a huge difference there. Because I feel like there's like an angle too where Mark is like, you should never do that. It's ugly, it's bad, it doesn't have any tastefulness. Whereas, like, Ishad will be like, I mean, I've seen a couple cool ones. It's just not my first choice, so like there's a little bit of a difference in the delivery, and like that little difference is just like the difference between being a cool guy that has opinions and like being a dickhead, if that makes sense. Anyway, but yeah, I wonder how many times like Trey's tail got stuck between these things just because of like how close your tail gets to that wall on this back tail. That was a really like cool choice for the spot. Robert Neal with the switch back heel up, jazz push. Tenali front heel. Carlos Hibero. Ooh. Yeah, no, I'm the same way about Robert Neal. He's kind of a weirdo, but like he looks so good on a board. Like, and it is these types of tricks too. Like the nollie front heels and like these types of moves. He's just like one of the best at them. So yeah, exactly. You can't help but like him. And then this, dude. This. The nollie 180 switch crook through the little elbow. So nice, dude. He stayed in it. Like, I feel like a lot of people would want to go like tail to switch crook, and he just switch crook like muscled through the whole thing. Super sick. Tiago. Whoa. This is kind of a big rail for a switch front blunt, no? Like, that's a pretty heavy rail move. He made it look really easy, too. It's probably just because he popped so high, he cleared like half of it. Oh. That was nice. Is that the last clip of the... I think that's the last clip of the montage. That montage was pretty cool. The best clip in it by far was... I think my two favorite clips were the... this one. The Trey backtail on the wall rail with the little slits in the wall that could stick your tail and fly you to your head. And this one, the Nollie 180 switch crook. I liked both of those. Those were rad.
It's daydreams that I love, and thinking down
we've got to have the like elevated like intelligence in like the skate video thing going on with the like, oh, I'm listening to somebody who's like a great thinker, just like a quote in the skate video. That'll get the kiddies stoked to do some shove-its and tic-tacs and slappies. That beanie.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
That was actually a very nice looking tray flip. Yeah. And this is rich coming from the guy whose first skate video was Elementality, which literally does like it literally does like this shit in between everybody's part. So like I guess I know when like I see things and it reminds me of this, it's like, oh, okay. It's kind of bullshit.
Yes.
Just not stoked. Ooh, oh, that was nice. Shove it nose manual from the side like that was so cool. And then just like setting up to be like flat-footed to get into the 5-0. That was rad. Yep. Kinosuke Yamashita. If you needed help with some Japanese pronunciation. Oh, I already know that this part is going to feel like so much better than a lot of the rest of the video. Like, this was a really cool thing to skate, and the trick he did, gapping out to back lip and then kick flip out. He popped it really high, too. Oh, see, he skates the fat egg boards like Frankie, too. That was cool. This is cool. Quick roll on. Ollie 1 foot. And then he got both trucks into the other grind. Now here's the question. How much cooler would this clip have been filmed in 4x3? I'm just saying. Like in a VX video, this clip would have fucked way more, but it's still rad. Ooh. This is kind of an interesting nollie heel. He didn't pop it quite as high as I thought he would. Interesting gap. Because it's like partially like a bank to bank, but like it's more like a flat gap. It's just a weird spot. You don't see a lot of spots that look like this. This part is so much cooler than everything we've just watched. Just these few clips alone. The little tiny Wally there. And then just turning to pop up to front grind. And then going right into this like it's a fucking quarter pipe. Not 4 down, but like I wouldn't expect 4 down on something that steep. That was rad. Whew. That's a crazy one. Big spin 360. Like that. Damn. Oh, that was a fat gap. Nice. Oh. That was a cool... This is a cool line. I like it. I like half cab flip nose to fakie. That's a nice one. And then switch back 1 on flat. A lot of people, I feel like they want to try so much harder stuff, but like sometimes just a really nice switchback 180 is all you need. And then the blunt slide on the rail is very nice as well. Ooh. This is not an easy thing to do at all. It takes a lot of effort and creativity. Like, he doesn't move his feet at all. He's in this like kind of wide bolt stance, and he's just able to curl his toes properly to big spin like that. That is wild. Ooh. This is heavy, dude. Half cab Manny. And then no tap. Oh, that tail got close, but it did not scrape on the revert. And then just proper flat fakie flip out. So good. And the white wrapper on flat. Yes. This looked so good. Backsmith. Back 180 Fakey Manny, which back 180 Fakey Manny is a really nice looking trick. And then this half cab flip, he dips it so good. And kind of landing on the inside bolts, but like, it actually didn't look bad. Ooh. I know I see a lot of full cabs into rails, but going over a rail, because like you have to go over it this way, cab frontside moves are already way harder than cab backside moves. So when you do it over a rail, it's pretty hard. And he did it really nicely as well. Nice. Ooh. This is a really nice looking hard flip. Because like from the side, it's kind of hard to make hard flips look good when they're filmed from the side like that, but that was a really nice looking one. Oof. Kickflip, power slide, shove it. Whoa. That's a cool one. I wish we didn't have this like VHS filter like the ones that a lot of people who do Skater XL edits kind of thing going on over this, but like, hey, that was pretty rad. Oh, it's like on a thing. It's on like a CRT like TV. That was cool. Haha, nice. I love those. Oh. I love these too, dude. Front feeble. Yeah, like front feeble, front shove the way you came, or like back Smith front shove popover. Got to be one of the coolest flat bar moves. Yeah, that is true as well, but I also think it's just because of, hey, Clero, by the way. I think it's also just because of like a lot of the editing choices in this feel pretty random, and they're not like unified in any real way. They're not cohesive. It's not like a theme throughout the whole video. They kind of a lot of these things feel just kind of thrown in there to give the video more spice. That's kind of what I've noticed throughout this so far. Ooh, nice varial flip. I have found out so far this year from all the videos that I've watched thus far that apparently I am just a massive varial flip fan. Oh. The way he's in this in certain like areas is just kind of wild. Like his balance, that is super weird looking for a manual. Like, you can tell so much that he is trying so hard to keep his weight forward the whole time, because he's like literally throwing his head forward repeatedly. He's like throwing his head forward in this manual to stay like leaning forward, like a child trying not to fall asleep at the dinner table where they're doing the like, that's kind of how he's manualing. But this was rad. The back 180 out down the stairs. Nice. Ooh, fat gap out of that. That was nice. Yes, dude. Oh. Okay, first off, back nose blunt on a rail. Back nose blunt just in general has got to be one of my favorite moves. Like objectively the best thing you can do on a grindable, slidable surface. And then this. Switch 270 front board. The Sacramento 10. I haven't seen this rail in a hot minute, mainly because it was hit for like 20 solid years, and there's not much left to do. That's kind of like, this hasn't been done yet? Because this is like the like staple 270 rail move. So I'm kind of surprised. But that was really clean. Nice. Oh. So I really loved the Ryo Sajiri clip here. And I love this too. Kickflip, grind up, kickflip into the fakie 5-0 down. Very nice. So hard to like hold your balance on that, because you have basically no speed, and so you've got to like trust the momentum of it. Pretty tough. I knew you were gonna have something to say about the Lakais. I love a good frontside half cab flip. Ooh, he's so close to that last stair too, though. Oh. Yes. The little cheeky switch 1 foot. Only one angle on this, but like I love the dip here on the switch front 3. So nice. Dude, that is such a wide stance. I feel like if I landed with my foot, like it landed a trick with my foot like that, I would be afraid of like slipping my heel off like banana peel and just like doing the splits. Oh, that was a really good. I love regular and switch varial heels, but this is a really nice switch varial heel. Couldn't have been done much better. That was a very nice one. Nice. Just another solid, clean hard flip. Heavy switchback heel. So good. Damn, that slow-mo, man. There's so many frames to get through that. That was nice. Ender? Oh my god. That was fat. Dude. So you got to start out by ollieing. That's a pretty tall rail. And then just like your setup time for kickflip is like as soon as you land this, like you have to abort mission if your foot's not in the right spot. And that is a long way down to correct. That was such a big drop. Because like I like this because it's like it's a creative way to look at skating, but it's also fucking gnarly. Damn, dude. I think this is it for for Kyo's part 2. That was heavy. Um, all I can really say about that is, my God, does Dylan have a tough act to follow. That was really heavy. That was really good. So let's see what old Dylan Jabe has to offer.
Here goes Dylan Jabe. Gonna do a regular kickflip maybe if he can.
Oh, this is baby Dylan. Are those Osiris?
Have some fun.
Those are fully Osiris. Haha, baby kickflip. Good God, dude. Super long. Yeah, I mean, like, kickflip nose manual down into something like this is pretty hard. And this is so long. Kind of gender? What, with the hair and the sweater? A little bit. Oh. Balanced. That is a lot of distance between that tail and the ledge. Super nice. Flip out was solid too. It looks dookie. Nose grinds with a little tilt. I don't know. I think, like, you're talking about, like, the rest of his body. I get it. Yeah, like his foot placement. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just like the balanced grinds. The board? Oh, I see. He's up on his toes. Oh, no, you mean like, oh, the angle of it. I thought you meant like that he was up on his toes. Ooh, that though. Fakey hard flip looked so good. Not a lot of fakey hard flips get the like cross foot 90 catch. And so that was very nice. Huh. Fakey heel flip, fakey manual is not one you see very often. So that was pretty cool. Obviously, you see fakey flip out all the time. But, you know. I just noticed, like, so much of what we've just watched of Dylan so far has been fakey. Kind of a weird angle. I maybe would have preferred it a little bit lower, but, like, that foot kind of goes right in your face. Props to the filmer, though, for, like, nothing actually being out of frame for that. Nice. Ooh. The catch on this was very good. A little bit yo flippy, but like the catch was very nice. This is kind of a cool combo. Not necessarily the craziest thing, but fakey flip tail from big spin is a pretty cool one, I think. There's something about a good fakey heel flip, though. Like down a set. Because it's classic looking, but pretty hard to do. I like switch trays quite a bit. And this is a wide, long gap. And he made it look pretty easy. So that was sick. Kind of weird filming for this. I don't know. Just not like the biggest fan of the flip in the middle of the manual thing. Like You hate manuals? I don't like manual I will say I've never liked manual clips nearly as much as I've liked pretty much every other type of clip. I like them when they're like, I like manuals when they're not the focus of someone skating and they're used in a cool way. Skating a manual pad as like a clip in a part has never really been, unless it's like a psycho move where like you can very clearly tell, or like, what am I trying to say? BMX Streets parts if you hate manuals. Yeah. It's just like, for me, I think manuals are like rather drag a cheese grater down my forehead and then watch a BMX Streets part. Probably same. My thought is really like manuals, you have to really think outside the box, in not just like a difficulty way, but like in a taste and style way, for it to be a clip where I'm like, that's one of my favorite clips in the video. Because otherwise, like, manual clips are far from my favorite clips in anything. Yeah. Mad cause bad. There was that one part, somebody sent something to Boogie's stream once that was the BMX Streets, where it was just the game cam to like that I'm a Flaminga song. See, because I liked this. I liked this combo. But admittedly, it's like another thing where it's like, I like the use of the spot. It doesn't really have as much for me to do with the fact that they're manuals. Just because I know, like, that's a pretty awkward combo, and he made it look really clean. And it was a really nice use of the spot. Damn, okay, so this part is pretty manual heavy. And then just a random kickflip baglip. That was nice. That was a really nice switch front crook. I would have maybe liked it a little bit more if it was a little bit more like toe-y, like a regular front crook, but this wasn't bad. Oh, this is more like it. Front heel. And he caught it like a frontside flip too. It's, again, not the same like, waha, I'm doing a front heel, kind of like front heel. It was a lot more frontside flippy. That was good. So much ass sweat. He worked for that. That was sick. Fakey grind. I'm just going to throw it out there. It's just unfortunate for Dylan that John Dixon was the last person I saw skate this spot. So immediately my brain thinks of that clip. And it's just like, I liked that clip a lot more. Not that this one's bad, but when you're following up John Dixon, that's just an unfortunate task for pretty much everyone. Ooh. I actually liked this quite a bit. Just because it is pretty out of character for him, and like switch grinding something like this is pretty gnarly. I will say maybe not like the nicest looking thing he's done, mainly because of like that. he's got the orchestra hand going on there, but like, I don't know, respect. And the way he landed it kind of like this way. It wasn't really like knees bent. Well, they're bent a little. I don't know. That was nice, though. That was a good frontside flip. It's probably another angle. Yep. Okay, thank you. This is a good frontside flip. Ain't no Tom Petty, but that'll work. Did I say Petty? Penny. The fuck? Okay. Somebody posted that, I don't remember who, because I literally like scroll Twitter, see things, leave. But somebody said on Twitter, and they posted this clip, and they're suspecting a little bit of tappery in here. So I am going to enhance. I mean, it is incredibly close if it's not touching. Like, I see a very small amount of shadow under the wheel. But I don't know, man. It's also just like one of these hard manual clips where like I feel like, again, we've been talking about how much like manual clips really aren't the best. Trick on a ledge, manual to the street, like off the curb, and like flip tricks in the middle of manuals have never really been my favorites. So like, what up, King? Yeah, I don't know. Like this, like even if like whether he tapped or not, this is far from my favorite clip in the video, so. Just wanted to say hi and show some love. Hell yeah, much appreciated, man. Good to see you. Are they gonna do see again? So he fakey flips, and I already knew this happened because I waited to watch this video until I could watch it on stream, and obviously when you do stuff like that, it's just the same as like, so I'm streaming this on Friday, and obviously like, so tomorrow is Street League. I work tomorrow though. I can't watch it live. If I touch my phone and I go on Instagram or whatever, I'm going to know the results. So like, obviously like I saw this because I waited until stream to see it. And now they're going to do the same thing they did to fucking Felipe's kickflip front blunt, where it's like, you're going to do all this extra editing to this. Can't I think it's sick? Can I pick whether or not I think it's sick without the editing telling me? Like, fakey flip down Wallenberg is fucked. You have to go so fast for fakey flips down things. And it's long as shit. It's Wallenberg. That's fucking heavy. And he did it really cleanly as well. Like it was a very good fakey flip. But you're probably going to show me 5 angles of it. And they're going to have more angles. I mean, like, clearly there's more time here. There's going to be like more angles and shit after, like, because then this is kind of like an after Black Hammers type thing. Yep. That's 2 angles. 3. Yep, we got 3 angles of it. So, yeah. I don't know, 3 angles of a trick like that. Like, I get it, man. I don't know, I guess 3 is fine. 4 for Felipe was definitely overkill, but I don't know. The after Black Hammers part of it is just kind of like, I don't know. What a mean thing to name your child. Is this pronounced like Jubilee? Why do people need to make jokes with their children's names, man? Why? Unless like if that's a nickname you gave yourself, that's still bad, but like if that's your government name, dude, your parents fucking hate you. This is like being named just in case. You got some usual suspects here, and then also Dylan Jabe. But Beagle, non-binary color credits. There's some blue, but yeah. You got Beagle, Tim Fulton, Spanish Mike. Man, Spanish Mike has been demoted to additional filming for fucking Primitive. I thought he was like one of the. I thought that like the filming crew for Primitive was Alan Hannon and Spanish Mike. Bobby Bills, Max Scharf, Luis Mora, Pekka Lovas, Justin Albert. Rejected. Ooh. You know what? That was sick. Front nose grind, back 180. Pretty rad. Nice. Whoa. That's so funny. You just don't get into the trick and then you just end up doing more. That is one of my favorite clips in the video, actually. Was this clip in Keo's part. I actually like this a lot. Probably one of my favorite clips in his part. I don't know, his whole part was really good, though. Redone yet? One more minute. Okay. I feel like a parent. Your kid's like, I just want to play video games for one more minute. I'm just going to show you the same clips you watch. One more minute. Please. Please, Dad. There's the hurricane that fell to board slide again. And that really stylish switch front three. Ah! That is like the worst thing that can happen to you skating this thing, though. Tail snap and then head smasher. Jeez, dude. I hope we get just like a raw edit of the fakie flip, because like the video like showing me this many angles of it is kind of this like I start to question whether or not it's actually sick because of how many times you show it to me. I feel like I'm being brainwashed. So like I don't know, like there's like I hope there's just like a raw edit of like the tries. And then obviously that shit was heavy. So okay. That was that video. Now I have an hour and a half to edit through. That was okay. Keo's part was definitely the best part of that. I don't know. There's like a thing of I wanted Felipe to do more tricks that weren't just the ones that I already knew he could do from the contests. And then also I feel like the editing was really flat and didn't really complement somebody like Dylan, because I feel like with Keo, he's just such a cool skater that he can be in a more lifeless production like this and it works because he's a cool skater that is doing tricks that are objectively very nice looking. But I feel like there needs to be a lot more effort into something with like Dylan Jabe's skating where like he's not bad, but because he's a very like ledge and manual guy with very like classic ledge and manual moves, it's a lot harder to like convey that as interesting when I've seen like 500 of that dude before. Um it's like I've seen Mike Mo's fully flared part and his pretty sweet part. It's like if you're going to show me that again, you have to package it a little bit more interestingly, and they just kind of didn't do that. They kind of wanted to do something where like it was like half like a production but also like the skating kind of speaks for itself, and I don't know, there needs to be a little bit more there for like a part like Dylan's to be more interesting. So overall, I thought this video, like editing wise and filming wise, was like really nothing to write home about. And I don't know, legitimately out of everybody in this video, it was like the dudes who ride the egg boards, Frankie Villani and Kiyonosuke Yamashita, definitely outclassed everybody else. I don't know. I feel like it's more impact because like you watch a Zero video, right? People skate Hollywood High and like um Wallenberg in Zero videos. And you remember that shit and it's like it's heavy as fuck, but they show you two angles and then like that's the end of their part and it's over, you know? It's a lot different than like I have to show you every little detail about this trick, about like the land of the trick, so you know like how cool this shit is. And it's kind of like, well, is it really that cool then? If you have to, it was like the whole like, you know, it's like when people kept saying all the time 10 years ago, if you have to tell me that you have swag, you don't have any kind of thing. I don't know. Overall, it was, I don't know. It was a primitive video.